Imagine pulling your truck into the shop yard at 6 o'clock on a Friday evening. Your muscles are absolutely aching, your shirt is stained with sweat and bar oil, and your boots are heavy with damp sawdust. You just spent the last 5 days matching wits with a massive, hazardous pine removal and a complex commercial clearing job. You slide into the driver's seat, pull out your smartphone, and open up your business banking app. You see a beautiful, healthy balance sitting in your account. Let us say it is $20,000. You take a deep breath, lean your head back against the headrest, and you feel a wave of intense pride. You think to yourself, I am finally winning. My crew is working hard, the equipment is moving, and the canopy of this business is growing beautifully. But then, tax season rolls around. You pack up your bank statements, take them to a generic retail tax preparer down at the local shopping center, and sit across from a person who has never held a chainsaw or stood under a falling limb in their entire life. They click a few buttons on their computer, look up at you with a blank expression, and tell you that you owe the government $7,000 in self-employment and income taxes, payable immediately. Your jaw drops. Your stomach twists into a tight, agonizing knot. It feels exactly like you just rigged down a massive log, but your groundmen let the line run completely slack, allowing that heavy chunk of timber to drop straight down through the roof of the customer's house. You feel completely blindsided, exposed, and robbed. You worked your fingers to the bone, you risked your body in the air, you ran your expensive diesel equipment, and now a massive chunk of your hard-earned wealth is being stripped away because your financial rigging failed. Operating a tree care company without an aggressive legal tax strategy is exactly like leaving the bark and the delicate cambium layer of a prize tree completely hacked open and exposed to boring beetles and fungal decay. In nature, the cambium layer is the vital highway that moves life and nutrients through the trunk. If the beetles chew through that layer, the tree starves and dies from the inside out. In your business, your cash reserves are that vital cambium layer. If you do not legally shield that cash, the government tax collectors will chew right through your business roots, leaving your company completely stunted and unable to survive a dry winter. Today, we are talking about the tax shelter in the trees. We are going to move completely away from the amateur mindset of just handing over your numbers at the end of the year and hoping for a small refund. I am going to guide you by the hand through how to work with a specialized trade-certified public accountant, or CPA. We are going to break down the mechanics of heavy equipment depreciation, master the incredible power of Section 179 write-offs for your new machinery, and learn how to legally keep more of your hard-earned cash buried deep within your business roots where it can help your company grow. To build a bulletproof financial canopy that shelters your profits from the tax storm, let us break down the 3 major shifts you need to make starting today. The first major shift is firing your neighborhood tax preparer and hiring a specialized trade CPA who understands the green industry. Look, a generic tax guy who spends his day doing simple tax returns for retail employees or grocery store managers is completely out of his depth when it comes to an arboriculture enterprise. He doesn't know the difference between a climbing line and a bull rope. He has no idea what it costs to maintain a commercial wood chipper. He doesn't understand the rapid depreciation of chainsaws, and he doesn't know how to handle the extreme volatility of seasonal weather patterns. Using a generic tax preparer for a commercial tree business is like hiring a homeowner with a small ladder and a cheap handsaw to remove a 90-foot dead oak over a power line. It is the wrong tool, it is high risk, and it is going to end in absolute disaster. You need to partner with an elite, trade-specific accountant who actively represents construction companies, land clearers, and arborists. A specialized trade CPA doesn't just look at your past numbers and tell you what you owe. They look forward into your future canopy. They act like an experienced structural consulting arborist who looks at a tree in the spring and tells you exactly how to brace, cable, and fertilize it so it survives the coming autumn gales. A trade CPA will sit down with you in October and November, long before the tax year ends, and look at your year-to-date profit margins. If they see that your business has made a massive profit, they won't tell you to sit on that cash and wait to get taxed on it. They will give you proactive, legal blueprints to reinvest those dollars back into your own business roots before December 31st, turning your taxable liabilities into permanent, wealth-generating business assets. The second shift is mastering the incredible financial lever of heavy equipment depreciation and Section 179 tax deductions. In the regular business world, when you buy an asset like a commercial truck or a large building, the tax laws make you write off that cost slowly over a long period, say 5, 7, or 15 years. That is standard depreciation. It is like the slow, gradual decline of an old stump in the woods. But our government understands that heavy industries, like tree care, require massive capital investments to stay safe and productive. So they created a powerful tax incentive called Section 179. Think of Section 179 as the ultimate high-speed mechanical advantage system for your finances. It is a special rule that allows your business to deduct the entire absolute purchase price of qualifying heavy equipment, trucks, loaders, and chippers in the very first year you put them into service. Let us do some real-world tree business math together so you can see how gorgeous this is. Imagine your company has had a fantastic, highly profitable year. Your net taxable profit at the end of October is $100,000. If you do nothing and you are sitting in a standard tax bracket, you might have to hand over $30,000 of that cash straight to the government. That is $30,000 vanishing out of your root system forever. Instead, you consult your trade CPA and you decide to upgrade your production fleet. You go out and buy a brand new heavy-duty compact articulated loader or a high-capacity wood chipper for $70,000. Under the rules of Section 179, you can write off that entire $70,000 against your current year profit. The math is simple and beautiful. $100,000 in profit minus your $70,000 equipment deduction leaves your business with a taxable income of only $30,000. Instead of paying taxes on a massive hill of cash, you are now only paying taxes on a tiny mound. You legally saved tens of thousands of dollars in cash. And more importantly, you now have a powerful, shiny new machine sitting in your shop yard that will double your crew's production speed, protect your climbers' backs, and generate millions of dollars in revenue for the next 10 years. That is how elite business owners build a protective tax shelter in the trees. The third and final shift is changing how you view cash retention and choosing to feed your company roots rather than feeding the government machine. An amateur business owner thinks that success means taking every dollar of profit out of the business bank account and transferring it to their personal pocket so they can buy fancy toys, big cars, and luxury vacations. But when you strip all the nutrients out of your business soil, you leave your company incredibly weak, vulnerable, and defenseless. A true corporate arborist views profit as stored starch reserves. You want to keep those reserves inside the root zone of the business where they can be used to fund future expansion, weather seasonal droughts, and shield you from liability. When you work with a trade CPA, they will show you how to structure your company legally, perhaps transitioning your limited liability company to be taxed as an S-corporation, which we discussed in an earlier episode. This structure allows you to pay yourself a reasonable, consistent salary as an employee of your own company, which keeps your personal tax liabilities low while leaving the remaining profit inside the business entity to buy safer ropes, upgrade your rigging blocks, fund your marketing campaigns, and maintain an emergency cash reserve. When you leave your wealth inside the business roots, you are building an asset that holds massive independent value. You are creating an organization that doesn't just rely on your physical labor to exist, but an enterprise that owns its fleet, owns its intellectual property, and holds deep equity in the marketplace. You stop working for the money, and you start allowing your corporate structure to protect and multiply that money for you legally, ethically, and predictably. Learning the complex codes of the tax legal system might feel completely overwhelming when you are used to spending your days managing physical forces in the canopy. But just like mastering a complex modern speedline rigging system, it is simply a matter of learning the rules of physics, choosing the right rated gear, and trusting the system to handle the load. You do not have to be a tax attorney, you just have to hire the right guide to lay out the lines for you. Let us secure the core lesson for today. A talented arborist knows how to harvest revenue from the top of the canopy, but an elite business owner knows how to use trade tax codes and heavy iron write-offs to shelter that wealth and keep it buried deep within the business roots. Here is your homework assignment for today while you are driving down the highway or waiting for your crew to finish securing the chip truck tailgate. I want you to open up your phone when you reach your next destination safely and search for 3 local commercial CPA firms in your region that explicitly list construction, landscaping, or heavy trade services as their primary client base. Call or email one of them today and schedule a simple 1-hour consultation strategy meeting for this coming autumn. Stop letting your hard-earned profits bleed out to generic tax preparers. Rig your financial shelter correctly, value your wealth, stay safe out there in the trees today, and I will talk to you tomorrow.